Alright guys, welcome back to another video. It's been several weeks since I've uploaded anything to YouTube. I've been extremely swamped. It's been a tax season from hell. Almost every client of mine that I've actually prepared taxes for this year has had to write checks to the IRS. Well, nowadays a lot of people are doing direct debits, but it's just insane the amount of money that the average taxpayer that I've actually serviced has had to pay the IRS. It's been a very brutal tax season. There's been a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of nights where I've had to work all the way until 2, 3 a.m. to only get maybe 3 to 4 hours of sleep, wake up, do the same thing all over again. Just March was just an incredible month. It's a record breaker for me, and I am very thankful that I continue to have the amount of support for my local community with the amount of people that I've prepared taxes for. It's just incredible the amount of people that I've been able to help. Being in this YouTube venture has been a passion of mine. I want to continue to be able to provide you guys a lot of content. And I know that a lot of people, they usually try to get into YouTube to be able to make a living off of it, which is great. You know, for a lot of people, if they're able to pull that off, that's awesome. But for me, I look at it as a way to be able to help people out. I already have a source of income and a source of revenue that I've been able to bank out of to make sure that I can be able to maintain my monthly expenses and also to pay down all my debt, and being able to not be stressed about trying to make my monthly expenses. Not only because it's very important in today's economy to be able to live below your means, to be able to pay down your debt, to continue to do the best that you can to be able to save. I know it's very difficult for a lot of people to be able to reach that position, but a lot of it is because of discipline. So nowadays we are bombarded by a lot of advertising, whether it be through the internet, through your telephone, everywhere around you. Everything seems to be at the point where everybody wants everything to be right away, right? You have the buy now, pay laters, and there's a lot of ways that you're able to get everything right away, instant gratification. I mean, that's something that's just all about self-discipline. If you're in a position to be able to purchase a house or to be able to purchase a vehicle, sometimes you have to know when is the right time to do that. My vehicles, I have several cars that I use, but I decide to repair them versus going out there and buying a new vehicle. My vehicles, for the most part, they are up there in age. They're not new, but I take good care of them. If something goes wrong, I immediately take it to a mechanic and I get it fixed. And I think that going forward, I think it's very important that for all of you out there that have a paid off car, that you take very good care of it, especially now that we're entering a new era of uncertainty. We have this whole tariff situation that can greatly impact how much we're able to pay for all our goods that are coming from different places such as China. And so it's going to get very expensive for you to just be able to buy new things. So before, a lot of people were just going out there and buying a new vehicle every couple years, or maybe they were just purchasing a brand new phone, purchasing a brand new computer, purchasing all these new things. But now, because everything's going to be so expensive, there's a possibility that a lot of people are just going to repair what they currently have. And yes, it's going to cost more money to do that, but it's going to be a lot cheaper than going out there to purchase the brand new item that's available at the moment. Now, that's going to cause for the United States to have less people spending, and that might actually push us in the point where maybe we're going to have a lot of pain in the United States, because now there's going to be less people purchasing things. Now, there's still going to be a big sector of the population. I really do think that there's going to be a big sector of the population that's still going to continue to doom spend. They're still going to continue to spend a lot of money on unnecessary things. Or maybe they're just going to continue and just spend everything they have every single month and not continue to save. But going forward, it's going to get more difficult for those people to retire, or for those people to eventually call it quits. Because at the end of the day, if you do not set yourself up correctly, you are pretty much going to be a slave working until you die. That's something that I don't want to do. I'm pretty sure none of you want to be in that situation. So in order for you to get there, you need to find a way to be able to have discipline, to be able to look at the long-term goals. If one day you want to completely retire, or maybe you want to pursue a different passion, maybe right now you're an engineer, or maybe you work for a company, or maybe you're doing hard labor, or you're putting a lot of stress on your body on the type of work that you do. Maybe you want to switch careers in the future. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to retire, but maybe you'll retire from that field, and maybe you want to do something else. Maybe you want to pursue your passion. And in order for you to get there, you need to be okay with not making as much money in that passion. But you have to be able to take advantage of the career that you currently have that's making you enough money to be able to have the discipline to be able to save, and to be able to project into the future the amount of money that you can make so that you can follow your passion. So I think that's very important. Like I said, I'm trying to put myself in that situation where if I want to, I can actually reject business. Or maybe I can offload it to someone else so that I don't have to be busting my ass. And maybe I can just pass on that work to someone else, let them make the money, and then maybe I could just make a referral fee out of it. So those are things that you can do. You can put yourself in those positions if you have the discipline to be able to save and to be able to live below your means for a certain period of time, get your finances in order, don't be a slave to debt, and take control of your life. Because that's something that little by little, all of us can do with the right mentality. And so going forward, what do I think is going to end up happening with the US? Do I think that from what I'm seeing right now with all my clients, do I think that there's going to be a large shift in spending? Probably not. I feel like a lot of people out there, they don't care. They just continue to spend. For the few people that ended up getting a tax refund this year, which weren't that many, I would think that the majority of them, instead of saving or paying down their debt, the majority of them, they're probably going on vacation with that money, or they're probably spending it on birthday parties, or spending it on holidays, or possibly buying things that they don't need. That's what I think is going to end up happening with all of these people that are getting the refunds. Because a lot of people just don't have the discipline, or they don't have the financial literacy to be able to look into the future. What can we do? Also, shout out to all the people that have reached out to me through YouTube. There's many people out there that I actually have secured as clients now in my tax practice due to YouTube. It's great. I'm able to help them out. I'm able to answer all their questions. I'm able to help them out as best as I can. And going forward, I'm going to continue to try to find a way to be able to help all of you out there the best that I can. Now, it all comes with a lot of sacrifice too, because not all the content that I put out there will help you in particular. Some of it might help some people, some might not benefit others. And there's been times out there where, I am human, so sometimes I have mistakes where maybe there's content out there that possibly can offend some people. I'm going to try to stay as neutral as possible when it comes to shooting types of videos for you guys. I know that in the past I've made mistakes. Maybe I've brought on the wrong type of people on this channel, or maybe those people have offended others. But those are all growing pains. Just like with my own business, we're all human. We're not perfect. Things like that can happen. And I just want to set the record straight that I personally want America to succeed, pay down its debt, and it has to be in a way that I think will benefit the entire United States. Um, so I am for that. Now, how we get there, I don't know, because we are in very uncertain times. These tariffs, they might end up working to our favor. It's something that I personally have never seen before. One of the things that I do think is probably going to end up happening if these tariffs do get enforced 100% is it's going to become an accounting nightmare for a lot of these businesses to be able to keep track of the tariffs. So I do think that this is just going to be somewhat of a surcharge on top of what they're charging already. I don't think it would be a smart business move if these companies were fluctuating the amount of money that they're charging for products. I think it would be better if these companies just charge a flat fee and then just included a surcharge based on the tariffs versus trying to fluctuate these prices, because I think it'll just become an accounting nightmare. And I really do think that that's going to slow down the amount of people that will purchase certain items. I do think that going forward, people will still continue to spend a lot of money on these items. And what's going to end up happening more than likely is these tariffs are probably going to pave way to the American consumer making more money, especially if the current administration does away with a lot of taxes, just like they are saying. Maybe they do get rid of taxes on Social Security. Maybe they do get rid of taxes on tips. Maybe they find a way so that most people can keep money in their pockets. But then what's going to end up happening is these products, they're all going to cost more on a daily basis. So even if you have more money in your pocket, you're still going to continue to pay more for these products. So it's probably going to be the same thing at the end of the day. Who knows? Only time will tell. I want for the U.S. to thrive, and in no means do I want the U.S. to fail. I know that a lot of people out there, even though they live in the United States and they are reaping the benefits of living in the United States, maybe they can care less if the United States goes to shambles, if the economy crumbles. Maybe they care less. But I personally don't. I want the U.S. to succeed. I want our government to succeed. But if I purchase a new car or a new vehicle, I also don't want to get screwed over. I don't want to be in a position where I'm buying a house for $350,000 and the next few months I can only sell it for $290,000. I think that's very unfair. So if you want to purchase a new vehicle or a new home, you have to do it at the right time. And I think a lot of you will agree. I know there's a lot of people out there that are on the sidelines. I've heard it from my customers. There's just a lot of people out there that are waiting for a housing market crash, but it's not happening. The problem is that the housing market crash, it's not something that's happening nationwide. It's only certain pockets of the economy that are starting to see that shift. Only certain parts of the United States are seeing a housing downturn. Little by little do we start seeing certain areas that are possibly starting to shift, but for the most part, it's all gradually happening over time. So just have to do your research. Find out when is a good time for you to buy. Not everybody is suited to be able to purchase a home. Some people are better off renting. I just want to let you guys know that I will continue to post more videos. Don't think that I just disappeared and just left all of you abandoned, because that wasn't. Every single moment that I had in March, for the most part, I had to dedicate to my current clientele, because every single year I continue to build my business. And the IRS and state of California, they have been very lenient on allowing people to file their taxes later throughout the year after 2020. So 2021, 2022, 2023, all these years, the IRS allowed people to file later. So it was very easy for me to accumulate a lot of clients. The problem is that now all of these clients that I've accumulated, they all had to be filed for the most part by April 15th. So everybody just piled in, especially around March. It just became nearly impossible to be able to service everyone. And the problem is, it's very hard to be able to find good help. And I have been practicing my business for about 20 years or so, a little longer than 20 years. And right now, I do not have any help. All the returns and all the work and all the scheduling, everything in my business, my tax preparation business, is all done by me. So I am the sole owner and the sole worker in my own business. So I had to put every single time, I had to put every single hour that I could, especially in March, to be able to make sure that my clients' tax returns were done on time, especially because we were in a year where banks were paying more interest. Stocks, they performed very well last year, 2024. A lot of my clients did very well. So I had an unprecedented amount of people paying taxes this year, and to me, there was no way that I could leave these people hanging, especially because a lot of them had really large sums of money to pay, and they did not want to pay the ridiculous amount of interest that the IRS is charging after April 15th. So again, I'm not abandoning you guys. I just had to take a break from YouTube and focus on getting everybody out there. And I will continue to provide you guys good videos that I think will make you a better person. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Update on Nala, guys. Here she is, my female Shar-Pei. She's 12 years old. She's going to be going to the vet here soon. Finally, I'll get a chance to take her to the vet. She's been on that raw dog food diet since November. And so it's been several months. She's lost quite a bit of weight. She's doing very well, has more energy overall. So for any of you that are thinking about putting your pet on a raw dog food diet, I think it's very beneficial, and your pets will greatly appreciate it.